Welcome to State Draft, our deep dive offering from the states on various issues of politics and policy. I am Manasi Phadke, Deputy Editor with ThePrint. I look after the editorial coverage from Maharashtra, Goa and Gujarat. And today I will talk about the so-called Pawar brand of politics, the Sharad Pawar brand of politics and where it's headed. Several NCP leaders who've known Sharad Pawar since the 1980s and 1990s admit that the Pawar brand of politics, so to say, has been a lot about making and breaking alliances and sniffing out political opportunities even before they present themselves. But it has also had an immense sense of loyalty along with it, towards allies as well as towards rivals. One such MLA cited an anecdote from 1991 when a section of Congress leaders were leading a revolt against Sharad Pawar. A Sharad Pawar loyalist at a social function in a seemingly convivial manner clutched the arm of a leader in the rebel camp. He apparently twisted the arm so strongly that the leader had tears in his eyes. Such was the loyalty towards Sharad Pawar that the indication was clear: no revolt, no rebellion against Pawar will be tolerated by his loyalists. 32 years later, amid speculation about Ajit Pawar, Baramati MLA from NCP, and Sharad Pawar's nephew possibly splitting or merging the Nationalist Congress Party with a section of its MLAs along with the Bharatiya Janata Party, what these old-timers within the party rue is the lack of loyalists who can, so to say, twist an arm for Sharad Pawar's sake. What they also lament is the lack of a Lakshman Rekha or boundary in today's politics. The above-mentioned MLA gave another anecdote to show just how Pawar likes his politics. Apparently, when Sharad Pawar was associated with the ruling party, a leader of the opposition called him because his son's bungalow was in trouble and was facing the axe. The opposition leader requested Sharad Pawar to ensure that nothing happens to the son's bungalow. Sharad Pawar apparently called the collector of the region where the bungalow was located and asked for the file. And that was the end of it, at least for the time being. Today's political situation in Maharashtra has some resemblance to a few political dramas of the past that have already played out in the state. Unnatural alliances rallying behind Pawar and anti-establishment flavor, at times even puzzlement over where the Maratha leader is exactly headed. The only factor that has changed the ball game in today's politics is that the concept of loyalties and boundaries that NCP leaders so fondly cite are no longer the same. In sharp contrast to Sharad Pawar shielding the opposition leader's son, today NCP MLAs talk about how they are under tremendous pressure from central agencies threatening to probe into their businesses, their assets, and also dragging their family members into the scope of the inquiry. Multiple leaders ThePrint spoke to said that this is what is fueling talks of NCP possibly joining hands with the BJP one way or the other. A senior MLA who is also Pawar loyalist said, there are talks going on, but Sharad Pawar's only advice to these MLAs is to try and hold your fort for as long as possible. What Pawar is said to have directly told his MLAs, he indirectly said at a function in Mumbai last week, which Ajit Pawar skipped, citing prior commitments. To quote Sharad Pawar, he said, these days when you go on the field and you see two people fighting, the first says to the other, you stay quiet, otherwise I'll unleash the ED, Enforcement Directorate, on you. Sharad Pawar spoke about leaders such as Anil Deshmukh, Nawab Malik, both NCP leaders who have been NCP ministers, and Shiv Sena, Uddhav Bayasaheb Thackeray, Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut being allegedly unfairly targeted. Pawar further said, all this shows how power is being misused and critics are being silenced. I'm appealing to everyone, we have to stay awake. We will have to fight against this. Whatever the cost may be, we should not fall prey to this and we should stand strongly with our party colleagues who face any injustice. For context, the NCP is currently part of the Mahavikas Aghadi, which includes the Congress and the Shiv Sena UBT. Now, friction between the Pawar uncle and nephew is not new, as the question over who will be projected as the number 2 in the party, whether it would be Sharad Pawar's daughter Supriya Sue, who represents the Baramati parliamentary constituency in the Lok Sabha, or nephew Ajit, remains. It has been simmering and seemingly boiled over to open rebellion just once in 2019 when Ajit Pawar led a section of NCP MLAs to join the BJP in forming a government in Maharashtra with Devendra Fadnavis as the Chief Minister and Ajit Pawar as the Deputy Chief Minister. This experiment, however, lasted for just 72 hours as one by one NCP MLAs returned to the Sharad Pawar fold. Eventually, Ajit Pawar too followed. Fadnavis, speaking to Marathi TV channel TV9, had earlier this year said that Sharad Pawar was very well aware of what was going on and the fact that Ajit Pawar and Fadnavis were to take oath and form a government. A senior NCP MLA close to Sharad Pawar had once told me that revolts for Sharad Pawar are not new. He has led them and he has faced them. And he has stayed for longer in the opposition than he has stayed in power. But he said that doesn't matter because Sharad Pawar ensured that he becomes his own power center. The Baramati satrap is hailed as the king of coalitions in Maharashtra, fluidly changing friends and foes according to the need of the hour. He dislodged the very first coalition experiment in Maharashtra and replaced it with another experiment of his own. This was in 1978 when the Congress I, which comprised the supporters of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and a breakaway faction of Congress URS led by D. Devraj URS, had formed a post-poll coalition government in the state with Vasantdada Patil as the chief minister. Relations between the two ruling Congress factions were choppy and there were many on both the sides that were opposed to the alliance. Now, within months, a rebel group led by Pawar toppled the fragile government. He forged an alliance with the Janata Party, the Peasants and Workers Party and the Republican Party of India under one umbrella, which was the Progressive Democratic Front. He replaced the first coalition experiment with the Progressive Democratic Front government and installed himself as the chief minister for the first time in Maharashtra. The PDF, which is the Progressive Democratic Front, at one point in 1985, also included the Bharatiya Janata Party. Some in the NCP draw parallels to the 1985 assembly election to what is happening now. In the 1985 assembly election, a lot of opposition parties had rallied behind Pawar as the gluing force. That the opposition, which is the Progressive Democratic Front, did not win the 1985 election is inconsequential. What they say is that the PDF under Sharad Pawar gave a tough fight to the Congress at the time. Pawar eventually merged his faction of the Congress with Congress I in 1986. A 2010 paper of the Pune University's Department of Politics and Public Administration said, in a sense, the formation of the PDF in 1978 marked the decline of the Congress system in the state. Pawar tried to project a progressive and democratic image of the opposition. The paper by Suhas Parshikar, Nitin Birmal and Vivek Gokhale, titled Coalitions in Maharashtra, Political Fragmentation or Social Reconfiguration, added, however, since 1981 itself, there were reports about Pawar's inclination to merge with the Congress I because many state-level Maratha leaders were one by one joining the Congress led by Indira Gandhi. In 1998, Pawar parted ways with the Congress due to friction with party leaders for raising the issue of Sonia Gandhi's foreign origin. He formed his Nationalist Congress Party in 1999, but within months allied once again with the Congress to rule Maharashtra for 15 years after that. Abhay Deshpande, a political commentator, said that there are definite similarities between the situation in 1985 and the situation as of now. He says, and I quote, that time it was anti-Congress, now the central pillar is the BJP and all parties, including the Congress, are together against it. In 1985, the BJP was part of the alliance despite the obvious ideological differences. Now it is the Shiv Sena UBT that is part of the alliance despite the obvious ideological differences. Deshpande added, there is however one difference. In 1985, Congress had its presence everywhere. The BJP is still not in that secure place yet. It has reached a saturation point in states where it is already strong. And this combination of opposition parties in Maharashtra is so potent that it can really make a difference. So, prior to the 2024 Lok Sabha election, the BJP will definitely try and break this alliance. Last week, as talks of Ajit Pawar's potential rebellion came to a boil, he gave a 40-minute rebuttal outside Vidhan Bhavan, squarely blaming the media for fueling the speculation. In a way, multiple party sources said Sharad Pawar may have forced his nephew's hand with his comments as reproduced in Shiv Sena UBT Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut's column in the party's mouthpiece publication Samna. The column is titled Rok Tok, about there being intense pressure from central agencies on NCP MLAs and that the NCP will not join the BJP as a party, but those who want to walk out are free to do so. Anxious party members, however, point to how former NCP Minister Anil Deshmukh was arrested for alleged extortion and money laundering and kept behind bars for more than a year, and how his family also had to face the heat. Close aides of Anil Deshmukh talk about how at one point of time the former NCP minister was unaware of exactly where his sons were. They were all out of touch with each other for close to 6 months. And that is a place that most NCP MLAs don't want to get at. Former Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar is himself facing an ED probe in connection with an alleged fraud related to the Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank scam. The Enforcement Directorate had in 2021 attached assets of worth rupees 65.75 crore of the Jarandeshwar Sahakari Sakhar Karkhana, alleging that the funds used to purchase the cooperative sugar mill were routed through a second mill, which in turn received funds from a company in which Ajit Pawar and his wife Sunetra Pawar are majority stakeholders. Earlier this month, the Enforcement Directorate filed a charge sheet in the case but did not mention Ajit Pawar or his wife. By Ajit Pawar's own admission, he says that the probe is still on, and the fact that his name and his wife's name were not part of the charge sheet does not mean that he has got a clean sheet in the case. NCP MLAs, however, say they're not sure for how long they'll be able to bear this kind of pressure. One particular NCP MLA said that he was told in words as crude as there is your liberty and your family on one side and your political commitment on the other. Which one would you choose? The party's MLAs, NCP sources said, are however waiting for two key events. One is the Supreme Court's decision on the Shiv Sena UBT's petition for the disqualification of 16 MLAs belonging to the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena after he rebelled against the undivided Shiv Sena, which was under Uddhav Thackeray. The other event that MLAs are keenly watching is the result of the Karnataka Assembly election, which is expected again next month. An NCP functionary told ThePrint that all of this has ensured that any NCP MLA who leaves right now will be seen as somebody who is cowering down. And even if 70% of the MLAs were to leave Pawar today, it will be like handing him a victory on a platter. He added that the rebellion against octogenarian Pawar at a time when he is actively touring the state, meeting people from the grassroots despite his age and ailments, will only whip up a monumental sympathy for him. This aspect of Pawar, constantly being in touch with people, having an eye on multiple things at once and maintaining relations is also an integral part of the much touted Pawar brand of politics, and age hasn't changed it. An NCP functionary said that any statement made with regards to an NCP constituency by any NCP leader is immediately followed by a call by Pawar Sahib about it. Similarly, one office bearer at the Mumbai Cricket Association said that not a single file moves without the knowledge of Sharad Pawar, despite the fact that it has been 7 years since he left the cricketing body. The controversy over Pawar's remarks on Gautam Adani in support of Gautam Adani at a time when the Congress-led opposition had been asking for a joint parliamentary committee probe into allegations made by US short seller Hindenburg Research into the Adani group are also a byproduct of the same Pawar brand of politics. So is his meeting with Gautam Adani last week amid all the speculation and the rumours about Ajit Pawar possibly jumping ship to the BJP. In the case of Ajit Pawar, many in the party say that it is not just about his own political future, but he is also looking out for the political future of his son Parth Pawar. Parth entered politics in 2019, contesting from the Mawar parliamentary constituency for the Lok Sabha election, and till date remains the only Pawar to have lost an election. He has made statements furthering the BJP's political agendas, which at one point of time had resulted in Sharad Pawar calling him immature. Political analyst Deshpande said exactly how keen Ajit Pawar is to actually step out at this point of time is unclear, because most of the speculation seemed to be fueled by what people around him were saying about him, which also raises questions about whether there are people in the party who are actively trying to edge him out. And also, Deshpande added that if Ajit Pawar cannot secure his own political future within the NCP, how will he do that for his son? Hours after Ajit Pawar's strong dismissal about rumours about his possible departure to the BJP, he shared stage with Uncle Sharad Pawar and cousin Supriya Sule at an iftar party in Mumbai. He sat there with his quintessential, undecipherable frown. Supriya Sule tried to lighten the mood by asking an NCP functionary who was seated next to Ajit Pawar, sharing a joke with him and saying that, "Did you tell Dada about this?" Ajit Pawar sat with his frown just as he was. Supriya Sule also visibly winced when the compeer introduced her as Sharad Pawar's daughter, who will take his legacy forward. The moment passed uneventfully, but everyone in the NCP family knows that it is this question over his legacy that often crops up as a thorn and lends itself to speculation about Ajit Pawar's future moves and possibly Sharad Pawar's too. That's it for now. Thank you for watching State Draft. I'm Manasi Phadke, Deputy Editor with The Print. We will be back with a new episode soon.